Hi, I'm Joshua Popenoe. Welcome to my 4 Elements pronunciation practice. This is the first part of a live weekly Zoom class I give for my online members. I present an interesting sentence or quote and then use the 4 elements as a framework to illustrate every aspect of pronunciation, making it easy to identify and focus on what needs to improve. The 4 elements are vowels, consonants, rhythm, and connection. Vowels are open sounds. The mouth is always open, never blocked, so nothing is touching inside the mouth. Consonants are closed sounds. There's some kind of contact using the tongue, lips, or teeth. Rhythm is made from syllables. Every vowel and the consonants surrounding it make a syllable. It's the smallest unit of speech that makes a word or joins together with other syllables to make longer words. Syllables are large and stressed or smaller and unstressed. Rhythm happens when you connect stressed and unstressed syllables together. Connection is about how to connect words smoothly in a natural flow, and phrasing is the timing and intonation that joins them together, giving them specific meaning. IPA stands for International Phonetic Alphabet, which has a unique symbol for every sound in English. Remember these words: vowel, consonant, rhythm, syllable, connection, phrasing, and IPA. This introduction was pre-recorded for perfection. The rest of the video will be live and spontaneous, so please enjoy the imperfection of a 100% non-AI human being, me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome again to Pronunciation Practice with me, Joshua Popenoe. Today's sentence is a great one. This one is, sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. That is so good. It's dark and you feel crushed in, but you've been planted, so this is an opportunity and a chance to grow. This sentence is by Christine Kane, an Australian author and speaker. Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. So let's start with rhythm and phrasing. The lavender marks are stressed syllables. We're going to tap the stressed syllables in the rhythm frame, a regular, steady rhythm like this. Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. There are 3 phrases. Each phrase has its own rhythm frame. So you'll need to speak quickly in between. Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. The first phrase, sometimes when you're in a dark place. You hear how fast the little ones go? Sometimes in dark place. Sometimes when you're in a dark place. You think you've been buried. You think you've been buried. Think buried. Think bear, the first syllable. You think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. The only stressed syllables there are act and plant, but you've actually been planted. So the whole thing, sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. So we will practice them all at the end. Listen to the melody again. There are 3 phrases, and each phrase is made up of words that go together and mean something. I could just say, sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried. That could be the end, but it's not. So at the end of the phrase, my intonation stays up and the listener knows it's going to continue. Sometimes when you're in a dark place, that one, of course, doesn't end. You know there's got to be something more there. Just to say sometimes when you're in a dark place, then what? It implies something happens. When this, then that. But then the second one, you think you've been buried. We could end there, but because the melody stays up at the end of the phrase, you know it's going to continue. Listen again. Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. Very clear at the end that the sentence is over and all those three phrases come together to present the whole meaning. So if you want to do this once after me, we can try that. Okay? Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. Okay. And of course, you can watch the video again and practice these things over and over. At the end of the video, we'll practice again. So we started with rhythm and phrasing. Next, I want to go to vowels. The stressed vowels have to be pronounced clearly. The small syllables move very quickly. There's no time to make big shapes, big open vowels. I've marked the stressed vowels in red. Very easy to identify. And of course, they correspond with the stressed marks above. So the first stressed vowel is some. Someday, sometime, something, some. That's a middle central vowel. Some. Then we have time, which is a diphthong. I, an open vowel, starts more open. I, sometime. Time is going to be more open than some. Next one is dark. Also has in it, so it's going to open big. And then as you close, you make the R. R, dark. So sometimes people will try to make the R too soon. And if you move your tongue to make the R, you can't open your jaw enough to make the ah. So basically, you have to and then as your jaw is closing, you make the R. Dark, dark, dark. Then we have place. That's also a diphthong. A, starting in middle. To E. A, place. Other words, name, face, take, great. Then we have think. That is a closed vowel, not the most closed, which is E. It's a little more open than E. It's eh. Usually used for the letter I in English. Eh. Think. Same vowel as give, lift, mix. So it's not E, leave, it's live. Think. Then we have buried. That's middle vowel again. Buried. Get, let, men, buried. Then the last two vowels are the same. Front open vowel. Yeah. Actually. Tongue is in the front position. Lips are spread. Yeah. Actually. Planted. Planted. Next, we'll talk about the consonants. S, starting with S. Fricative consonant. Tongue is behind the front teeth. Bottom gum. Teeth are together, and you're pushing the breath through. Fricative, unvoiced. There's no voice. It's only breath. Some. And we have M, the lips. Ma, M. That's a nasal consonant. Nose is open. T. That is also unvoiced. Tongue is touching up here. Sometimes. We have M again, and then S at the end, which is pronounced as Z. S and Z are a pair. So S, same mouth position. Z, Z, Z. Then we have when, W, lips. When. Then we have N. I call it a hard N. Touching here. N. Same thing as na, but at the end of the syllable, when. Make it a hard N. Then Y, yeah. Y is a glide consonant. You're not touching, but your tongue is pushed up. Yeah. Yer. Then we have R. That's a whole other lesson. Tongue is pulled back and the middle of the tongue rises. Yer. And we have N again. N. And then D, dark. D and T are a pair. Most consonants come in pairs, voiced and unvoiced. D is voiced, da, da, da. Same physical position, T, unvoiced. Dark, K, is that voiced or unvoiced? It's unvoiced. It's the back of the tongue coming up and releasing. Then place, P, it's the lips, voiced or unvoiced? Unvoiced. Again, most consonants come in pairs, voiced and unvoiced, P, unvoiced. What's the voiced partner to P? It's B, 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 B. And we have L, la. Tip of the tongue, or not exactly the tip, but somewhere here. Depends how you're moving. Touching. Here again. Important thing about L is the release. La, la. Place, place. You have to hear that. La. Then U, Y again. Think. TH, unvoiced. That's friction. Tongue here against here, but not pushing too hard to block it, not being too loose, so there's no sound. The right amount of friction, think, think. Goes to NG, thing, which is also nasal consonant. Back of the tongue is up, touching. The nose opens, thing. Then it releases with K. Nose closes, think, think, thing. Nose closes, tongue releases to make the K. Then Y again, U, V this time. Voiced, right? V, U. Then B, 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 B. We talked about P and B. You've been, N again, hard N, N, been. Then B, 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 B. Lips again, voiced, buried, R. And then through the vowel to the D, buried, buried, D, D. It's voiced, the D. Then but, B again, T again, but, Y again, you've, V again, you've, actually. We'll talk about that. But you have the at, then you have a K, T, and ch. Look underneath the word. You can see the IPA. Act. So it's a K and then ch. That's the sound of CH. Ch, ch. But C can be pronounced several ways, so we cannot use it for IPA. Purpose of IPA is one symbol for each sound. Actually. La. Again, the release. Actually. Li. If L is too weak, we won't hear a proper release. Actually. Then B again to N. Been, hard N. Planted. Again, we had place, now we have planted. P, unvoiced. L, pull it away, snaps away. Planted, goes right to N, T, and then D. Planted. Planted. Touching with N, leaving with D. Plante. And going back to the D. Planted. Planted. Okay? Let's talk about connection now. Sometimes. Again, main thing about connection is keep your voice flowing. That's sort of the underlying most important thing, to keep your voice flowing. Now, there are techniques you might have to learn because you might unconsciously automatically separate the words. So I'm saying keep your voice flowing, but then there are techniques you might need to learn to be able to do that. So sometimes, that's easy to connect. Sometimes when. Again, keep the voice, the breath flowing. Sometimes when you're in a dark. Sometimes when you're in a dark place. When you're in a dark place. Sometimes when you're in a dark place. Dark. That's a K stop. T stop is famous, but K stop and P stop are also important too. Basically, those three consonants, T, K, and P, they have what we call a stop release. So dark, we don't want to go dark place, dark. So we don't release it. Dark, we don't release it. We make the K with the back of our tongue coming up and stopping it, dark place. So we understand the stop. That's how we hear the stop, dark place, dark place. It's got that when you're in a dark place. We have a comma there. You think you've been buried. You think you, keep going into the Y, think you, voice never stops. Think you've been, V, lips, goes right to the B, B. V is the teeth, top teeth on the bottom lip, and then B is the lips together. So can you make that smooth? You've been, right? I'm making the V and then been. Then the lip comes down, top lip comes down on the bottom lip. Think you've been buried. Been touching here, right to the B again. You think you've been buried. But red line means T-stop. Remember, there are 3 stops like that, K, T, and P. But you've. So we're not releasing the T, not but. There's no release. But you've. But you've. And of course, we can hear the difference between dark place, but you've. A native speaker can hear, oh, that's K, and also the context, because we understand the words, dark ends with K, obviously, dark place, but ends with T, obviously. But you've actually. Now, you can connect that, you've actually, but it is a stressed syllable, the beginning of that word, actually. So you can break there. Now, you can see there are 4 syllables in that word, actually. To be honest, many native speakers, when they're speaking at normal speed, they just say actually. They make it to 3 syllables, but you've actually been planted. That's 3, actually. But the real basic pronunciation is actually. That's what your dictionary will show, or dictionary.com, actually. So you could try that, actua. Then, of course, we have the oo, right? Going to the so we can use that W technique. Actually. Actually been, keep it going, actually been planted. Plan, you're touching with the N, you lead with the T. Planted. So let's try the whole thing. Obviously, I'm speaking quickly and mentioning all these things. These are the things you need to pay attention to be aware of. That's the purpose here. So if you watch the video again, you can take your time and think about and practice any little details that you're not clear about. And of course, if you want to really learn them in detail, come join my course. All the videos are there. So let's do this together now. 2 times. I'll say the sentence and then you repeat after me. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to tap too. And if you tap, it could really be helpful keeping your momentum and rhythm going. Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. One more time. Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. Okay, very nice. Thank you for joining us today. Next week, I will present another sentence, and I hope this is helpful for you all. Take care. I hope that was helpful. Now I'll be working with my members for the rest of the live session. If you'd like to join us, work with me, and continue learning the 4 elements in detail, along with every technique you need to improve your English pronunciation, come join my online pronunciation membership, which includes over 100 videos teaching every technique you need for good English pronunciation. For more information, go to popenoemethod.com. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time.